You're listening to the We Are Libertarians Network. Learn more at wearelibertarians.com.
Hog of Liberty podcast. This is episode number 131 of East Central Indiana's favorite podcast. I'm Jeremiah Morrell. Today I'm joined by co-host Chase Peyton, producer Chris Guffey, and my forever co-host Dakota Davis.
On today's episode, it is a host show. We are just the hosts. It's me, Chase Peyton, the lovely guy in blue wearing khakis. This is the best dress that he's ever been for a podcast. Last week,
it's not a collared shirt.
I used to dress up, and then I was like, nah.
Last week we had an actual guest, and he showed up in sweatpants.
I almost wore shorts tonight. Basketball shorts, and I was like, then Dakota will give me that look, and I'll be like,
and then, of course, the best candidate for Henry County Council, or Henry, God dang it, Newcastle City Council, Ward 3.
You were so close.
Yeah, Chris Guffey.
Hello.
It's like you have other things on your mind, Dakota.
I got a lot going on.
Gym. Early morning gym sessions, man. He thinks about them all the time.
All the time.
I just wake up to you guys canceling on each other nowadays. First couple weeks it was, yeah, buddy, I'm there. I'm ready to lift. I'm swole. Now it's, hey, man, can we put off till tomorrow? Every day you each do it twice. So we'll just make it up on the weekends. That's what I see now.
We do. We make it up on the weekends, though. We're swole.
Not really. We only missed a lot.
That actually is. I'm not going to make fun of him.
Didn't even work
solid.
out. Didn't even work out my bicep today.
Lifting up
Look at that.
You did that tricep though.
I did work out the tricep.
All right.
But anywho, today we're going to be talking about President Trump and whether or not he's going to be impeached, and if we could see a potential very first president from the state of Indiana.
It's not the first.
Yeah, he is.
Benjamin Harrison. What is he? Chop liver?
Benjamin Harrison.
Who is that?
He lived in Indiana his whole life.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why there's four.
What number was he?
Damn.
18, I think.
Peyton Manning, baby.
That's where the number came from.
Hey Chase, did you spend my $5 well?
I was gonna say, how was your Monday night?
Benjamin Harrison was the 23rd president, not the 18th.
And he was also born in Ohio.
He's
so he
Indianapolis,
didn't live in Indianapolis his whole life. Indiana his whole life.
His home is on North.
You're
Delaware.
claiming someone from Ohio?
He is.
I can't believe you.
The worst state in the nation.
He's buried at Crown Point. Died in Indianapolis. From Indianapolis. It's like me, man. If I become president, are you going to count me as a New Yorker or a Hoosier? What's going to count?
You're a New York person.
All right. Are we doing this episode?
He wasn't. Yeah. Come on. Stop getting us off the rails, Chris.
God.
Jeez, oh Pete.
We're going to send you back to your producer's chair and not let you sit at the big table with everybody else.
We're also
What part of New York?
Messina.
Your mom's house.
Messina.
Oh, jeez. And we are also going to talk about, once again, why tweets aren't news, because an Iowa football fan raised millions of dollars and now he's a racist. Then we're going to talk about burn bans in the state of Indiana. And, we're going to talk about all kinds of different things. We're having a host show this week because next week is the very beginning of our Newcastle City municipal races.
The Canada series.
Yeah.
This show is about our lives in rural Indiana. We're here to push your boundaries and make you think as individuals. Sometimes we'll provoke you. Other times we'll make you laugh. Hopefully you'll always learn something new. And I really hope none of you blame Dakota for having his mind on that little girl he's going to take to prom or give away at a wedding, or maybe throw a boy he's going to throw a football to.
It might be a little boy he has to give that wedding speech to. Birds and bees. Have you thought of that? My parents handed me some licorice. And it was like, my mom was like, "Hey, you're gonna have a talk with your dad. Here's some licorice. You're gonna need this." That's shit you have to think about.
Hold on, did that?
Hold on a second.
Stop everything. Explain to me how your father used the licorice. Is this a visual aid or just something to get your mind on something else?
No, it was just something for me to chew on. I was just gnawing at it like.
Was it?
Hold on for a second.
Was it black or red?
Hold on for a second.
It was pumpkin, so it was orange.
What?
Yeah.
Disgusting.
So it had to be during the
No
fall
wonder
time.
you've screwed this up for the whole. Your dad taught you about sex with pumpkin licorice.
Yeah, I want to go back to a comment that Chase made, was that if I have a little girl, I'll have to take her to prom. I think that Audrey and I are relatively attractive people. I hope that
Think about
I've got
this.
a little girl.
Well, Audrey is a catch.
Think about this. Like, if you have a boy, you have to worry about one dick. If you have a girl, you have to worry about everybody's dicks.
You have to worry about everyone at trial.
And then, like, I could have a son. He could have a son. Chris could have a son. Then you're gonna have to worry about our kid fucking your kid, and it's gonna be awkward at that point. So I just want to make a truce with you now. Like, if that happens one day, if it's a girl, and if it's a boy, and it's the other way around, I can't promise that I won't kick your kid's ass.
What if Chase? What if you weren't gay, but you and Dakota both have gay kids?
Well, then honestly, that'd be kind of cool. Can we match make?
And they're just gonna be buddies. It's gonna be an arranged.
Oh God,
an arranged deal now.
I hope my grandparents are dead by that point. But
you and me both, buddy. Zach Burcham's in the chat, and he wants to know if your dad refers to it as the pumpkin spice chat.
No, does he refer to it as giving them a little pumpkin spice? You gonna give Katie a little pumpkin spice later, son? It's
fall. It's pumpkin spice season.
It's just like Chris and I were talking about earlier with comments that Jeremiah made. Oh God. Oh,
I didn't do anything. I've been nothing but a gentleman.
One day, Chase, whenever we're dead and gone,
this record will be here forever.
Our
for
children,
your great-grandchildren to look at.
Our children will listen back to this and go, God, I'm so glad they're dead.
When they looked at them and thought, God, they were the adults.
Yeah.
So we were supposed to do a show. The president's going to get impeached.
I can't believe Dad was 24.
We have other things
episode.
to talk. Yeah.
If it's Jeremiah's kid, they're going to be like, I can't believe Dad was 44 in this episode.
God, he looks so young. How did he age so fast at the end? That's what we want to know.
Oh God.
Are we?
Yeah, we have.
Are you going to pull this together?
All right, we got some serious stuff going on.
Chase, why don't you take the lead for a minute?
Have we thanked the Patreon people?
No,
we have not.
Jonathan Phillips, thanks for being my sugar daddy. Craig DaCosta, thanks for being my sugar daddy.
Cowboy suck.
Christy Avery.
You know the Lions are undefeated.
It's true. Starting to get nervous.
They are Super Bowl bound, baby.
It's all right. I'm 0-3.
Yeah.
Oh, if we do our fantasy league, I'm also 0-3.
I ain't doing fantasy. I'm talking the Redskins are 0-3.
Do we still talk about the stores?
Yeah.
What's the difference between BHOL 1, 2, and 3?
Funny you should ask.
BHOL 1 is just a standard T-shirt that just has our logo right on the front, like a little pocket-sized logo, and
the poll is now 50-50. If you guys want to go vote in the baby boy, little girl poll right now, it is neck and neck, 50-50.
BHOL 2 is the design that Jeremiah made me make, which has all the host names on it.
Except for Danny, because you don't really believe he's a host.
I don't. Because, we've had guests that have come on more times than Danny. And BHOL 3 is the ultra premium line. That's where you can find the awesome sweatshirts for fall time, the ones that are great for sitting around a campfire. Those have a large logo on the back and then a small one on the front. And
do any say local celebrity anymore?
No. No local celebrity shirts anymore because Danny threw a fit last time that he got one of those shirts. And one thing I want to cover before we get any further into the conversation is we got... you, dear listener, have got a big day coming up on Saturday because we did a special episode we were guests on Perception is Reality with Christopher Bilbrey.
Yep.
He has been on our show. I think that we decided that he was on in February. So you might have heard him then. He's been covering local news and politics in Winchester and the Muncie area specifically. And we were on his show, and it'll be out on Saturday. We had really good conversation with him, talking about the similarities between our shows. And while you're listening to that, then you can come on down to Race Street in Newcastle at 8:30 in the morning.
Yep, there will be Jack's Donuts. We will be doing a campaign walk for the campaign here.
Jack's Donuts are the official donut of the Chris Guffey campaign.
They are. They haven't officially sponsored me yet, but...
What's your favorite donut?
The Bavarian cream, man. Powdered.
Okay.
Did you say powder?
Powdered.
I like the chocolate. With the
Christy Avery just joined the chat.
Okay.
She may have missed a message earlier.
Hey, Christy Avery.
Oh, hey. Darren Lee said hey to you. How do you know Darren?
Oh, that's it's a family friend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's
It's some good
This is
radio.
really. This
he's going to
what
be
are you people doing?
Super interesting comment there, Chris. I'm glad you brought it up.
he's
Wow.
going to be
So glad.
he's going to be hunting on the same road as I am.
All right,
Check the
so yeah,
Patreon
we're gonna be walking for Chris Guffey on Saturday from 8:30 to noon.
Yep.
We're gonna be walking his ward in the city council
How far is that?
race.
How big's the ward, or how far are we walking?
How far, estimation wise, if I showed up on Saturday, do you expect me to walk?
Could you do a 5K if you had to today?
Like running or walking?
Walking.
Oh yeah, I stand all day.
Less than a 5K.
Yeah, probably a couple miles. Nothing serious.
But don't worry, you'll be at my hip the whole time, just talking like schoolgirls. You won't even notice it. You've done this before.
It goes so
You've
fast.
done it at least once. So you went.
Yeah, and I was really committed, and then it did. And well,
What happened, buddy?
some old guy beat us.
Oh, that was your first time. You'll get it. It doesn't
It
hurt
gets
after
easier.
a while.
It gets way easier.
Sometimes your candidate wins, sometimes they don't, and sometimes
True.
you're a candidate and you don't win.
Hey,
That's the way it goes.
Chase, look
but
at me.
I look at this one and I think
Jace, look at me. Look at me.
it's
I'm the real candidate
It's-
in this room.
It's
it's
true.
going to happen.
I do look in his eyes, and I see winner. I didn't see it Monday night, but I see it tonight,
I know.
and I think from the future, this point to now, you're going to be a winner.
I hope. That was the hardest $5 I've sent via Venmo.
I felt so bad. It got so bad during the game that I was rooting for the other team's offense.
Help the fans that haven't been following. What
So-
was this bet you're talking about?
We had a $5 bet
Yes.
because Chase is a fan of the Bears,
Bear down, baby.
and I am
The Bears.
I'm a fan of the Redskins, and we had a
The R words.
we had a
We
Monday.
don't use the Redskin word.
The Potomac Drainage Basin indigenous people.
Oh yes, the indigenous people of Maryland.
Yeah, the Washington R words. We faced off, and the best team came out victorious.
The Bears did do a little better.
Our defense was just.
I felt really.
I liked your strategy because you let us intercept the ball so much. Our defense got tired from running the other direction. You actually got to score a couple times.
I want to see
Chuck
Dwayne
Pagano
Haskins
may
play.
get a head coaching job after that game.
Ooh, I
Chuck's
hope
defense
not.
looked really good in the first half.
Well, he inherited Vic Fangio's defense, so that helped him out a little bit. And we all know Chuck Pagano's not the best head coach.
Oh,
I mean, if you look at Chuck's head coaching record and the number of games he's won.
Yes.
Audrey, hey, we let your secret out a little while ago. We're sorry. I see you just joined the chat. Can't put the genie back in the bottle, but you can vote in the poll, and maybe you can decide. Dakota. Chuck has like a 60-some% winning record.
Okay,
He's
but
excellent.
half of those came from Bruce Arians because he was sick.
That is not true. Bruce Arians won like 8 games. Bruce is a great coach.
Half a
as well.
season.
Yeah, but Chuck coached for 4 years. Like 8 wins were Bruce's. It was Chuck's team. Are you back in? Are you?
I like Chuck. I was a little pissed when we picked him, but he's a good defensive coordinator. I just don't
an
think he's a
excellent
good
defensive
coach.
coordinator. All right. The players love to play for Chuck.
So where are we talking about?
Earlier this week, Nancy Pelosi announced a formal impeachment inquiry into President Donald J. Trump. That's where we're at.
that's where we're at.
Chase.
Do we have
Yes.
to?
What do you think of this?
Do we
Tell
have
us.
to?
Man, to be honest, do you want my personal opinion?
I want to know if this actually makes your radar at all. Do you care?
I didn't know about it until I saw it in the group message.
Yeah.
And in my personal opinion, I say impeach the bastard. Just because I've met Mike Pence,
And you want to know the president.
and I just want to say, hey, I've met that guy.
Oh, you just want to be able to say, "Hey, I met the president."
Yeah, I've met the president.
Saying, hey, I've met the vice president isn't like saying, hey, yeah, I've met the
That is-
president.
Yeah,
Really cool enough,
I've met the president. He could nuke people if he wanted to.
So the House has only ever impeached 2 presidents before. Did you know that?
Yeah, I knew that.
Can you name them?
Hold on. It wasn't Nixon.
He was close.
Bill Clinton.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
See, Chase went to school for political science at Liberty University. You are the.
I thought about it.
You should
He
be
didn't go
the
for
expert.
political science.
Jimmy Carter.
No,
Oh,
longer ago.
longer. Oof.
Is President Andrew Jackson?
Oh, no one.
No,
Yeah, he was.
Jesus.
Was it?
It was President Andrew Johnson.
Was it Lincoln? I heard a lot
Oh,
of people
Andrew
split
Johnson.
from that.
Andrew Jackson was president way before the Civil War.
Yeah.
He was the Trail of Tears president. Andrew Johnson was the guy that was the vice president under Lincoln.
See, I didn't even know about him.
Yeah. So he was nearly removed. It came down to 1 vote in the Senate when Andrew Johnson was there.
Yeah.
And he inherited.
He was so close.
He was a Southerner. And post Civil War, he was from Tennessee, and he inherited a very obviously divided country, and there were a lot of political issues in place, and it was probably similar to now where it's just total vitriol. In the Nixon time, when things came along, it was he actually had the pretty legitimate, easy, he was on his way out and everybody knew it. And that's why Nixon resigned. There were articles of impeachment that were drafted, and it was passing out of a House committee for Nixon, but it actually never got to the floor of the House of Representatives, and it never went to trial.
Chris, what's your best Bill Clinton impersonation?
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Jeffrey, you
I
want to
did
take me
not
on that
have
plane really
sexual
quick? I heard
relations.
this.
Oh yeah, you got to get that like crackiness in it.
I've been really liking that island and the coconut pina coladas, Jeffrey.
Jeremiah.
I'm doing the math right now. Going, Dakota was you lived through 3 years of Bill Clinton being president.
My wife, Hillary. She's a hell of a man.
I'm just the concept of you guys all having a Bill Clinton is he's pop culture now for you at this point. He's not. You don't remember the Clinton presidency.
The only thing I know about Bill Clinton is he was a pedophile that went to Pedophile Island with Jeffrey Epstein.
What year did
41
he
times.
get impeached in?
1997.
Also,
so it was
he's
after my time.
Married to Hillary Clinton, who is a Dementor and has been draining him of his soul for the past.
She's
decades.
a succubus, man. Have you seen that episode on South Park?
No.
Well, you should watch it.
I don't
Describes
watch
her
South
perfectly.
Park. I'm not a big fan.
So there have been a number of Democrats that have been advocating for impeachment for a while, but in late July, like July 27th, there was a conversation between late July. Whatever.
9:03 in the morning to 9:33.
There was a conversation between the head of state, the new head of state of Ukraine.
Yeah, the president.
We'll call him Ray Zelensky,
Zelensky.
the auto parts king, and President Trump.
President Z.
And I will say that reading the transcript, and it's not really a true transcript that was released yesterday by the White House. It's more of a narrative based on people's recollections. I don't know how that works exactly, but it's not a word for word, and it's got a disclaimer saying, "Hey, this is what happened, but this isn't word for word." When you read the transcript, it reads like a Trump rally. He talks on the phone with world leaders like he's on the stage having a Trump
I really
rally.
just think that's him.
Yeah,
I just think that's his
the way he
personality.
operates. Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit scattered.
He's great. He's he's getting screwed by certain people.
Listen,
You're
we
the
do
greatest.
Great,
I'm
we
gonna
do
fluff.
great things for Ukraine.
I'm gonna
Oh, is that your
fluff
Trump?
you up.
Yeah.
Honest,
Germany.
Can we all do Trumps?
Germany does not hold up their end of the deal. They do not. It's the worst trade deal in the history of trade deals.
Build the wall.
That was poor, Chase. That was terrible.
I haven't watched a lot of politics in the last few years.
The
Okay,
thing about Chase's impressions are that
they're all
you-
the same.
you can no,
No, your Clinton was actually very good.
you can just tell that it's Chase behind it. You know, he's got a certain character to his voice that's always there.
Well, that's the great thing about Dana Carvey stuff is that when he's doing George Bush, the original George Bush, it's a character of his own. His George Bush is not anything like the real George Bush, and it just built upon itself where it's its own third party.
Guys, I got a good one.
Broccoli.
All right, let's hear it. For the people
You
at
just
home,
got to latch on, man.
for the people at home, Chase is grabbing at something in the lower regions.
Hand. You got to shake their hand.
Shaking hands.
Very presidential. He likes to go like this. Let me see your hand, Dakota.
He grabs your wrist.
Yeah, he
That's
he
aggressive.
latches on and he kind of like that, and he pulls you in.
Oh God!
That's the Donald Trump handshake.
I'm not gonna make it to the gym tomorrow. Chase
So-
just dislocated my shoulder.
So in this
Friday.
conversation
Yes.
between the president of the Ukraine and the president of the United States, they talk about it was a lot of self-congratulations and fluffing. And then it is there's this investigation going on, and look into
Was
this
previously.
and yada yada yada. And then it turns into some conversations about Vice President Biden's son,
Hunter, yeah.
and then there's some stuff about the president's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, the former mayor of New York and the former presidential candidate, being available to help with his investigation. And there are some weird blurry lines there.
yeah.
The problem
there's
is
there's no specific coming out and going, you do this for me, and I won't suspend the federal aid that you're slotted to get. It was more of a, hey, the way I put it to Chris this morning when we were talking about it was, imagine your boss coming up to you and going, hey, bud, you've been doing really good work for us, and I just wanted to remind you real quick that, I know you enjoy going to the gym every day, and I know you enjoy your nice car, and I know you enjoy your house. I just want you to remember that is all taken care of by us. And you do a great job, but we do make sure that you can afford all of these things. With that being said, there's something I'd like you to do for me on a completely unrelated note, but also keep all that in mind.
here's the easiest way to solve this. You ready? We stop giving out foreign aid so that we can play this game of you do this for me and I influence you with that. If we just simply ran our own damn government and
Yeah.
worried about the affairs of the United Nations,
Let's-
nothing else, or the United States, and stayed out of everybody's business and stop trying to play carrot and stick by giving people bribe money, and then it gets corrupted, none of this would be a problem. We wouldn't be having this conversation.
Yeah. Here's the thing
Agreed.
that I've also thought about is that every single person in America knows that this is how politics are done. Like this is the way that politics
Shady
happen.
back room.
Is you talk about these things with foreign leaders, and it's not necessarily doing
Quid pro
personal
quo,
favors. It's not the necessarily quid pro quo, but we've always known that it's a you scratch my back and I'll scratch yours situation. Everybody has always known that since, I've heard people talking about politics like probably whenever I was a little kid sitting at a dinner table listening to my dad talk about stuff, right? Why is this such a surprise to anyone, let alone the Democrats that are actually in office and are doing it as well? Like, I just don't understand. And why also is no one talking about, like, I have heard no one say that the things that Trump was talking about to the president of Ukraine about former Vice President Biden, I've never heard anyone say that that's not true. They just focus on what Trump has been saying.
So the next question becomes, do a majority of people, maybe 2/3, I think it's a majority. It's been 20 years since I've looked at this. Are there enough votes? And I think it may be just be a simple majority. Enough votes to get out of the House of Representatives
Yeah, it is just a simple majority.
to impeach the president.
Yep.
And an impeachment is essentially an indictment. So in a criminal deal, if you go before a grand jury, you go before them and you say, hey, here's the evidence I have. Will you give me these charges so that we can go to trial?
Right.
So the Senate is the jury. They're
Right.
the ones you present to. The judge is the Chief Justice of the United States Supreme Court. They would
And
preside
I-
over a trial. And the prosecutors
Are
are delegates from this House of Representatives.
Yep.
So what would happen is the same thing that happened in the 90s with Bob Barr and those that came over from the House during Clinton impeachment. you would have 8 or so Republicans that would essentially serve as trial lawyers trying to convict against the articles of impeachment.
Yep.
They have to get 1 over 2/3 of the senators. So 67 senators would have to say yes to impeachment. The Democrats don't have that many seats. So you're going to have, say, 15 Republicans vote against Trump.
Here is why I think we're talking about this right now. I think we're talking about this because it's about campaign season, and members of the House need to have things to send back to their ultra-liberal districts and say that they voted for impeachment of President Trump.
It's all fundraising.
Yeah.
So
The trick of it, though, is going to be the Republicans have started canceling primaries, right? So
Yeah.
for the Republican side, you're now in October. You're going to start seeing presidential. You're going to start to see caucuses in about January. So in about 60 days, 90 days, you're going to start to see delegates starting to get wrapped up. If something were to happen with the president and the timelines here, by May or June of next year, you're starting to have some issues about who's your candidate going to be and how and in getting on the ballot in certain states. If they do have, if it becomes terminal, so to say, the Republican Party has some problems. You can't abandon your president, but at the same time, you need to make sure you've got a candidate.
he's got about, a year, a little less than a year and a half left till
In
the
this
next
term.
person takes over
In
at
this
least
term.
Yeah.
Yeah. His
Why didn't
term
they
will
do
expire
this?
in January of 2021.
2 years ago. Why didn't they do this
well,
a
the
year
phone
ago?
call
Item that
only
they're talking
happened in
about was in July.
So it
this was-
happened just.
Yeah, July. Yeah.
And here's the
There's
thing.
nothing else they could have went on.
One other coincidence about it is that at the time in July, Biden was pulling way higher, and it wasn't as close of a race as what it is now with the Democrat primaries. And he has always consistently pulled the highest against a mock election against President Trump.
He still is currently, right?
He's still both the front runner
in national
both
polls,
of those,
I believe.
But
this week, Elizabeth Warren has passed Biden in some national polls, not the state by states, but
see, I knew the margins were getting super close.
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Warren's taking a lead.
Ugh.
Well, I don't know about a lead, but she's making some jumps.
Why Elizabeth Warren?
I think she's going to pull some of the.
She's gonna get.
Yeah.
She's gonna
pull
get
a
on
Bernie.
the stage, and Trump is just gonna call her Pocahontas the entire night, and nothing productive is going to be said.
That is the lady that said she was an Indian, right?
yeah.
that will be the comedy of 2021.
And
Oh, boy.
she also
2020.
got a job at Harvard, and they listed her. They said that they were proud to have a diverse teaching staff, and listed her as a native Indian.
Native American.
Indian.
I don't-
It's native Indian.
Is it? Really?
I don't care either way if he gets impeached. I don't hate
I
the
don't
guy.
either. It's like whatever at this point.
He
It's
says a
such
lot of stupid
circus.
things. I don't. Presidency wise, he hasn't changed my life at all.
They
Yeah.
never do, Chase. It's about the city council and the mayor's races,
The county
and
council.
the county council
Yeah.
and the county commissioners.
It's just like
That's much more important to your life than who the president
Yeah,
is.
well,
that's like
knowing-
cheering for Jets versus Patriots.
Jared.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares about local politics.
see that's
the
where they should
unfortunate
because
reality.
it's just like
Nobody cares about local politics, but
If they did, I'd be on Fox News right now. My grandpa would be proud of me.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's just like
I'd be on Hannity
so local
or
races.
the Mike Huckabee show.
Local.
I'd really want to be on Bill O'Reilly, but you know what happened to him.
Papa Bear,
So now we know what
you're gonna get the Alan Combs treatment.
Chase thinks is his pinnacle of achievement would be to get on Sean Hannity's show.
Listen, guys, I love you, but you're just a stepping stone to Sean Hannity. Okay,
Maybe
When he
Tucker
calls, I'll
Carlson.
leave
If
you.
I'm,
See,
Why don't
Brad,
you wear a bow
I get
tie
no.
next time,
I get
Chase?
no love. I start to talk and they just talk over me.
dude, you got to be aggressive. I've learned that. You just
I
got to
was
kind of
trying
cut
to be,
people
and you're
off.
just like,
Nobody likes a whiner, Chris. You
well, I
gotta
wasn't going to
fight.
whine. I was,
What a millennial. Should we vote for that guy?
yeah, just watch how fast you all get muted. But no,
You don't have the power of the buttons right now.
I can. But no, the local races are what matters because it's just like Wednesday, I ran into my county councilman, Chad Malakut, while I was eating lunch at Ming's. One of my barbers is another county council member. Those are the people you're going to see every day. Those are the people you're going to actually be able to talk to.
It only takes 4 of them to raise your taxes.
It sure does. And guess what? Your taxes are going to get raised.
Yep. Now you know, too.
Hey,
You've had the same conversations that I have had.
absolutely. Sure are. There's no other options.
They gave up hope. They gave up
No other options.
Our only hope is we get some windmills in this bitch, and
You're only
it takes out the people. who need
Obi-Wan
taken out.
Kenobi. You're my only hope. Obi-Wan Kenobi's our only
So
hope.
that's the impeachment junk. We had to talk about it because
Had to.
we were contractually obligated.
What,
We had some Chase's on this week, so we worked in some sports.
Oh boy,
Chase, you're familiar.
I should have read this.
He's just reading now to hear what we're supposed to talk about. Chase,
well, why
you're
don't you
familiar
start
with-
us off, Chase?
Chase, you're familiar with the ESPN show
Game day.
Game
ESPN
Day.
Game Day.
before Lee Corso and those folks. They hold up signs
Okay, yes.
in the background, and there
Yes.
was this fellow.
where Lee Corso
Yeah,
throws
puts the helmets on.
whatever helmet
Yeah.
or mascot head. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Pick his winner.
this dude, mid-20s,
Yes.
about your age,
24.
about your age, held up a sign that said, "Venmo me some beer money or some Bush beer money."
Bush Light Supply, resupply, send money, and then he
He put his
Carlton-
Venmo address on
Carlton
the sign.
Bolden 25 or something like that.
And then he said, "Okay, if you Venmo," he turned it into, "Okay, if you send me
Well,
money, I'm going to give it to
After
charity."
they showed it on TV, he
he started getting the money.
Yeah, people started giving like crazy, and he raised $11,000 that first day. And he decided, okay, I'm going to donate this to Children's Hospital, the University of Iowa, whatever Children's Hospital, and Anheuser-Busch heard about this, and
Which
so
is
did-
one of the companies that was
Yes.
named along with Venmo. They're
Yep.
the equivalent
and
of PayPal.
Venmo also heard about it, and they vowed to match any of the donations that he got for the Children's Hospital, and match all of those funds and donate it. And
Lovely,
then-
wonderful story. Nothing. How could this
Yeah.
possibly go wrong?
Sounds like
Then-
a great guy to me.
Sounds awesome.
They
Likes beer,
raised-
likes children.
They raised over $1 million.
Yep.
That's a lot of money.
All three of them together.
All from a
Throw
sign.
the man a parade.
Yep.
Have him on the podcast.
He's-
he should be the next governor of Iowa.
He could have
Amazing.
taken that money and
I
retired.
would imagine Joe Biden's looking for his endorsement for president.
And then,
Uh-oh.
What happened? What
and
happened?
then,
Oh, no.
a reporter from the Des Moines Register.
He had a Mitch Trubisky.
Yep. He pulled up two
He loves titties.
racist tweets
Oh boy.
From
from
his
2011. He was 16 years old, and he retweeted two jokes from Tosh.0.
yeah, he was a sophomore in high school.
And one
So
was...
hold on.
they
It
were-
wasn't even something he wrote out.
It's not his OC. It is him retweeting
Daniel
a
Tosh.
mainstream
Comedian.
comedian
One
yeah.
was quite racist.
from 10 years ago.
So, hey, Wilson, one was pretty racist.
Was it funny though?
I don't want to completely downplay the racism in the tweets because one of them, it compared a black woman to a gorilla. It was
Ooh.
pretty racist. And we know how...
I'm not even going to
Yeah.
laugh at that.
16
It was pretty bad.
years old. The cancel culture and the shock culture. Can we just stop? Guy
But-
raised $1 million.
The only reason he's famous, only reason he is famous, and anybody cares about that tweet from when he was 16 years old, is because he was able to raise $1 million and he got famous. That's the only
Yep.
reason anybody cared.
And
If he was just a Joe Blow like any one of us,
Oh well, I mean,
nobody,
celebrities over here.
nobody.
That's one of my big fears.
so
is-
what,
I've said enough stupid shit on this show, and majority of it I don't mean.
yeah.
And I've retweeted a lot of stupid shit on Twitter. If I ever make it famous, it's going to be
Does there need to
short-lived.
be a Twitter purge?
Yeah, that's always my fear. People, I had someone,
Everybody has. Listen, in this world, everybody has a digital footprint like none other.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
150 years ago, everybody had a journal, and everybody wrote in their journal, and that's how we learned about them. And then there was like this 50-year period or 100-year period where we stopped writing in journals. So we're going to forget about those people unless they were famous. And then around the year 2006, to the end of time,
We started getting MySpace.
we have social media, and people are going to know if listen, the Ancestry.com business 180 years from now is going to have the best picture of what Dakota Davis was and said, and what
they're also
Jeremiah
gonna be
Morrell
like-
thought and said, that there is going to be more information on us available than any other generation. You're going to see the flaws. You're going to see the great parts. You're going to see the ugly parts. And sometimes you're going to see the joke somebody laughed at as a child.
Yep.
But that doesn't mean that we have to have this damn cancel culture and give up.
So we're talking about the cancel culture, but we didn't really say what got canceled. He came out and he apologized after the reporter brought it up to him. The reporter came to his house and did an interview so they could do a profile of like, hey, look, our local celebrity. And he brought it up to him in the interview like, in 2011, sir, you made these very racist comments that you retweeted from
I don't know
Daniel
if you
Foch."
realize this. You were 16 at the time.
So he was like, oh, crap, I need to get more ahead of this.
He said, "What about a gorilla?"
And
this is before
he-
Harambe. It was a different world.
yeah, he went back through. He like found the tweets. He deleted them, but it wasn't enough because he apologized profusely. He was like, I am appreciative of the reporter from the Register being so respectful to me whenever he brought it up, and he's like, I apologize for everything I said. Obviously, I recognize now that those were super distasteful jokes, and they can hardly even be considered jokes. And that wasn't enough. That prompted
Of course, it'll never be enough, because
Anheuser-Busch and
there
Venmo.
are basement dwellers that have the keyboards.
Anheuser-Busch and Venmo said, "We're done. Nope, we will match the funds that you already got, but we are now completely severing the cord from this dude." It was like, you're doing a good thing. Like, he apologized. Yeah, they were pretty bad jokes,
A side note,
but you were raising money for children, and the dude apologized. He said he was sorry. He's like, I'm 16 years old. We've all said and done stupid things when we were 16, but he was raising money for sick kids. God.
on a side note, if you want to send me beer money, you can Venmo me. I promise not to give it to any kids.
What's your Venmo address?
Ooh, I think it's...
Hold on. I can find
Is
this
it
out.
at Chase Payton 02?
Hold on. I just sent you $5. I can tell you what it is.
Could be Mac Daddy Chaz. I think that's my
I think
Cash
that-
App.
Nope. It's at Chase Payton 02.
Okay, I think Mac Daddy Chaz is my Cash App one. So if you
Cash
want
App.
to Cash App me beer money, I won't give it to any kids.
Not a single one.
Farmer Brad's in the chat, and he says that the golden currency standard right now is frozen chicken. So if you guys want to pay in frozen chicken, that's what he recommends. I'm on Venmo at Jeremiah Morrell. Don't send it to at Jeremiah Morrell. That's a totally different guy. But send your money to at Jeremiah Morrell. That's very confusing, and that was probably a very poor choice on my part.
Probably.
But if you send me $40 right now, we'll know that it works.
You know what though? You know what would be better than sending
I am
$40 into Venmo?
At Dakota_Davis_96.
Oh, that's really,
That's too much, man.
That's really nice. But
There's
you know
so
what?
many.
That's like your...
There's
Hey,
so many.
That's like your
Mason.
Twitter.
Chase.
Mason Rottinghouse says that he...
Hold on, guys. What do you want, Chris?
I think instead of Venmoing you guys money, they should go to my campaign page, Chris Guffey for City Council, and scroll down to find that Anadot link and make a small donation to the campaign.
This is everybody's.
I'm
just
a
using this-
Republican.
everybody's using this as a. There's no Republican in his race. You're safe to give him money.
Oh, okay. I'll support you then, bud.
Christy Avery's giving her PayPal. Mason says he actually has a joint Venmo account with Chase, and it's actually at Rot4.
Yeah.
42.
I won't give Mason any of the beer because he's not of age. But I'll
I don't
slip
know what
him a
you're
five.
talking about. The guy at Ruoff Home Mortgage Center said that Chase was Mason was born in '79.
He has the documents.
We have the
geez.
documents.
So,
Speaking of Ruoff Home
Does
Mortgage
anybody-
Center,
does
I heard
anybody
that it's
take-
really dry out there right now.
Oh, you know what? I bet it is. Dude, the Kid Rock concert tomorrow is going to be crazy for some people.
I was down in Columbus last weekend, and this is why this conversation is in here. Our last major topic. Indiana's getting really dry. We haven't had rain. We've had like one rainy day in the last 2 weeks up here.
Had some
It rained
sprinkles.
last night.
It's not moist.
Just like an old lady.
Yes, it's not moist. Mason says
That's really
1971.
gross.
You disgust me.
I was down in Bartholomew County last weekend for the blessed wedding of our friend Joey Molinaro and his new bride Riley Molinaro.
Did they kiss?
They did. They had a great wedding.
Nah.
And I didn't realize that they had center pivots down there. Do you know what a center pivot is?
You didn't live stream it?
What is that?
That's where they, in their cornfields or their hemp fields or their bean fields or whatever, they have an irrigation system that's in the middle. So it's like a crop, the big circle. So it's a sprayer, and it's off of a center, so a center pivot. And they were all over the place down there in the Taylorsville, Columbus, Edinburgh area. I was like, man, it's really dry down. Like noticeably it was dry down there. And then we got back home and I'm like, it's kind of dry up here too. I'm like, I don't think I've had to cut my grass but like once since August. So
been awesome.
Yeah. And then I'm like, I wonder how dry it really is. So I did a little more research, and there's like 10 Indiana counties as of this week that you can't do burning outside. We have burn bans again. It's been a long time since we've had burn bans.
No smoking pot.
So I don't know. Is this a problem? Cade was supposed to be here so we could have him explain to us.
Yeah, we were supposed
if
to be.
If this is a real thing, or if it's just like convenient for Chase that it's nice and dry.
I did learn a new term today, though. Whenever I put this in the show notes, and you can find it if you are a Patreon member and you click the link to drought in Indiana in your show notes. The month of September has been incredibly dry for most of the state, and very high temperatures that are unseasonal for this time of the year. The Weather Channel actually said that parts of Indiana are experiencing a flash drought. So very similar to a flash flood, but it's a very short-term drought that is low moisture in the air and coupled with very high temperatures and a time period in the year where your grass and things are naturally starting to dry out anyway and die because of the weather.
We were, when we started talking about this, it was 10 counties. It is now 17 counties in Indiana.
Wow.
Didn't it just rain over the weekend?
Yeah, it takes a little while to actually matter. You get a
we had
little bit.
sprinkle on Sunday.
Basically along the Ohio
poured
River.
in Spiceland last night.
Union County, Franklin County, Decatur County, so very close by. Connorsville, the Whitewater area. A lot of state parks where people are camping. This has been my thing this year, Chase. You know that. Camping at, if you're at Mounds SRA or Whitewater State Park, Clifty Falls, Charlestown. Those places all have burn bans in place now.
They do.
Your summer's, your style's getting cramped. You can't burn your trash.
Really
Not supposed
depressing.
to. Yeah.
You can't burn if you get caught.
I mean,
Right.
Who wants to go to jail for getting caught burning trash?
You blame it on your wife.
It's my land. If a cop shows up on my land, then he needs to get away.
Care what happens.
That's just, you are a trespasser at that point. And if you try to kidnap me from my land, you will be met with deadly force.
What you do is you blame it. You blame it on Sarah and her mom, and they go to prison. Then you and Kevin have a good time for the night. You bail them out in the morning.
Well, wait. If your girl gets arrested,
Yeah,
you're gonna bail them out the next day.
depends what I'm doing.
You're not going to go that night?
What am I doing that night? Are the Bears on?
Are you drinking?
Am I drinking?
If
Do
you
you
show
want
up,
me
are
to
you gonna
drive?
Yeah.
Do you want me to drive drunk to
I'm here to bail
the
out
sheriff's office?
I'm here to bail out my girlfriend. And now you're arrested for public intox.
So
Good job, loser.
So that's your plan. Is you wait till the next.
What
morning
if she
for
did
Katie?
something really bad? And
What if
I
she has
think
to learn
needs
her lesson?
Yeah.
Henry County, just in case anybody is wondering, Henry County is not one of the 17 with burn bans in effect. You're not gonna get arrested.
Not yet,
for
but once
burning.
they find out there's something they haven't regulated or put the kill on fun, I expect the burn ban to be in place here by the end of the week. It's close. Decatur County and Franklin County border Rush County, which borders us, so they are not far away.
Yeah.
They are not
go,
far
baby,
away.
go!
The NFL is underway.
It's my boy.
I want to know if anyone has any stories about getting of them burning during a burn ban and what the consequences were. I'd really.
Oh, I thought you just wanted childhood stories of us.
No, I'm just saying,
I've
if you're a listener and that happened to you, I want to know your story. I think it would be interesting.
I can say that I've never actually burned during a burn ban, but when I was qualifying, when I was in the Army down at Atterbury, not qualifying, we were shooting tracers for some reason, one of the traces went into the fields and
Weapons of war.
caught on fire.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it started a fire. We had to stop shooting.
How much did it burn?
Not much.
Oh,
I mean,
that's good.
they got out there pretty fast.
Just a whole
I
forest.
remember whenever I was in high school and there was that guy that was running around during a drought and setting all the fields on fire.
I vaguely remember.
You remember when all that was going down? We had an arsonist on the loose for the whole summer.
I don't know if I have anybody.
I thought that
play
was
this
Cade
game.
Koger.
It was like
Cade wasn't doing that?
It was like 2012, 2013.
I saw Cade's boss today.
Jade?
No, his Faja, also known as Kent.
So is
I said
Indiana? Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was like, it's about time I see a Koger actually working.
Okay. Are you done
I was
being petty?
I'm attacking Cade while he's not here.
That
way he can roll me up.
Last couple of points about our flash drought in Indiana. There have been reports of crops that are drying earlier than they were expected to in the state, and a lot of fields have already been harvested, even though they were expected to be harvested much later because of the late planting that was done this season because of the flash flooding.
Yeah, so that's something that actually involves my work, my real 9 to 5, 8 to 5 job. It gets we were expecting the dryer and harvest equipment to come in a little later, but it's starting to.
Yeah,
We got to
I
fight,
noticed,
boys.
So the Packers and Eagles are playing right now.
But
It's
yeah.
the first quarter 0-0 in the Green Bay. Mason is in the chat. Intern Mason up at the Purdue University. He's reporting that Richie Rich, I think, was the guy that did the burning. So
It was Richie Rich. Yeah.
Richie Rich.
So is Indiana going to turn into like California? Everything's just going to set on fire and millions
I don't know,
of houses
maybe
are going
this
to be
is,
burnt
Maybe
down.
what we
and-
need is just a good hurricane.
Before we get into too much of that, it kind of ties into my final thoughts. So I would appreciate it if we moved on before my final thoughts get stolen.
Okay,
Oh.
perfect.
Whoa.
I can't help it.
Okay.
Great
Whoa.
minds
All right.
think alike.
All right.
Aren't you defensive?
I am. I don't want it to get stolen from me like Chris did last week.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Maybe if you guys paid attention during the meeting ahead of time, this wouldn't happen.
We have a meeting.
Do we have a fight? I showed up at 5:30, and you guys didn't roll until after 6.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah, I was
Dakota.
a little busy.
You know, if you have a son
Yeah, you were.
and you change its diapers, a lot of times they pee on you.
Are you going to be okay with that?
Is that exclusive to sons?
I hear boys
I
are
think
worse.
that all babies.
Yeah, but
I think
boys have the hose.
I think it's important to know that Chase is only going to give you diapers for your diaper party if you give him a boy. If you fail and don't give him a boy, as he's
I
asked
got
for,
that
That's just
diaper
not
money.
fair.
I got that
Will you
diaper
take a
money,
cloth-
boo.
will you take a
I got
cloth
that
diaper?
money.
so that your wife can wash them in the creek like it's 1847.
I'm going to have to get back to you guys because I know Audrey has a very specific diaper that.
Are you going to
Through our-
vaccinate your kid?
Yeah. We're not idiots. But
Really?
Audrey has got some very
You're going
specific
to vaccinate
diaper.
this child?
Yeah. We're going to make sure
boy.
it lives past the age of 11.
All right.
Do you have-
I feel like this is we should probably get to final thought.
No, I don't think Chase has asked about circumcision yet, so I feel like
I think we should.
How do you feel about it, Dakota?
I'm Jewish, man. We got to do it.
so there will be a bris, and Guffey's doing it. Guffey's doing the work.
I'd say, yeah, it's a
did-
bad call because but I'd circumcise my kid too. I don't want him to be a weirdo. I don't want some girl to look at it and just be like, "Ah."
No, actually, when we were at the campground, there was another lady that asked the same question. And she's like, if you have a boy, are you going to circumcise him?
Because this is what people
And-
just ask people. This
Yeah.
is why I asked. I know this
And-
story, and this is
yeah.
the reason why I worked this into the conversation.
Yeah, and I answered her the same way that I did you, but see, on the show we have the inside joke because I found out I'm 12% Ashkenazi Jew, but she doesn't know that, and I said the exact same thing. I was like, well, yeah, I'm Jewish, so kind of have to.
You kind of look like Ben Shapiro.
Listen,
Final
facts
thoughts.
don't care about your feelings.
Guffey.
Okay, so I've got as this conversation has included, I've gained 4 final thoughts.
As he's been cut off at every stage of the game here. He's just got. I have a lot.
Jeremiah, this is my time.
I have a lot of complaining to do.
Jeremiah, this is my time. 1, I will do the circumcision of your child with the. Hold on. Listen.
Hold on. I promise you, I will not touch your boy's dick.
With
We don't even know if it's a boy.
Hold on.
Why are we
With-
making these promises?
Well,
We're probably
so
going to
sorry,
have more
Audrey.
kids. We don't really plan on stopping at
exactly.
one, so
With
Too much fun.
the custom.
you might have to wait a while to break out your circumcision knives.
With the custom world-class
Better get
knife.
sharpening.
No.
You don't want it to be dull.
My world-class knife maker sharpened
That's
it
why.
for me.
That's why Chase is.
I had
Chase is so
I had a
grumpy. is
custom
that
made, baby.
the knife wasn't sharp enough for Chase, and he's.
Make sure you keep it in good shape.
Oh, I'm not even going to use it. It's going to stay in the package that I got it from Jim Minnick at minnickknives.com. He's a world-class knife maker in Middletown, Indiana. So you guys should look him up. 2, I was able to meet Kirsten Kronk last Saturday at Democracy on the Plaza. That I had a wonderful time, and I appreciate her for inviting me to that. Number 3 in the list of things that you guys all overrule me on is I would also like to mention, again, this Saturday, 8:30 to approximately noonish, we will be walking for the campaign, and I would greatly appreciate you guys to come out. Jack Stones will be provided, like I said earlier in the show.
I'm a firm maybe.
No, you're a yes. I'll pick you up. We will be starting at 8:30, and then if you could just wear a Royal Navy blue shirt.
Royal blue, Colts blue.
Yeah, Colts blue. You can wear your Colts gear if you want. We'll just be out talking to people and seeing.
What if that shirt says Colts suck?
That's fine by me.
Okay.
They can wear that if they wish.
You can wear your Bears ball cap.
And
Possibly.
Possibly.
If I go.
Then number 4.
I don't have a Trump voice, but I might have a Chase. It's real nasally and
Hold on.
non-committal.
Then number 4. I don't know if
Maybe.
we developed this story about how I had a gun stolen from my house
Yes.
5 years ago, and just a month and a half ago I got it back, and I was actually at the range before I came here shooting. So
Don't hurt anybody. Are you trained?
I am very trained. It is right here.
You've been trained by the United States
Right
military.
there.
Wait, is it loaded?
Nope.
Sir, that's a
That is a weapon.
Sir,
that is a
It
semiotic
is
weapon
on
of war.
the table. We are not
This-
comfortable.
this is a gun I bought, and
It's
I still
I'm
have
unloaded.
pretty sure that's an AR-15.
in 2010.
Somebody cover it up. It's hideous.
In 2010.
We're gonna get deplatformed because somebody has a gun on the show now.
I entirely forgot that we're on Facebook. Well, boys, this is
Like
it.
and subscribe. Follow us on iTunes just in case it's the last thing you ever hear from us.
Guffey, you're supposed to hold it like this when you're shooting, right?
That is correct. You hold it
Bang,
to the side.
bang, bang.
It increases accuracy by +10. So, but that's all I got.
I hate all of you.
I'm so.
I was watching Superbad 2 weeks ago, and McLovin's shooting. He's like, bang, bang, bang.
I do love Superbad. It is a great film. Why don't you give?
Hey,
why don't you
can
give
you like-
the American hero his weapon?
Oh, hey, man. You're not supposed to point it at people.
Yeah, Chase. So, even though it's unloaded, be always mindful and treat every gun
That
like
could have
it's
went
loaded.
off. Guns kill people, Guffey.
Okay.
That's it.
Final thoughts, Chase.
So I'm starting a new segment. I don't know if it'll always be in my final thoughts, but today it will be.
I mean, you weren't here last week. It was date night. Do you have an excuse for why you weren't here?
I don't even remember what I did last week, to be honest.
Date night. You guys went to a movie.
Probably laying pipe. I'm just kidding. I don't remember. Apparently, was it the It movie?
Yeah, that's what you went and
I don't know. You
Was
didn't
that
invite
last
me.
week?
Yeah, you went and seen it
You
chapter
didn't
2.
invite me.
Oh man, it seems like forever. It was a good movie. I saw it with my friend Kyle. So I wasn't laying
You
the
hung out
pipe
with
that
Kyle?
night. Yeah.
You didn't invite me?
You had the podcast. You can't miss the
I'm a
podcast.
jerk. I would have skipped this.
I would just like to say I apologize
Could've
if we get
canceled the whole
deplatformed
week.
from Facebook.
So,
I've created fear in Guffey's
anyways,
eyes.
good movie. I'm starting a new segment. It's called Chase's Pet Peeves. And every week I'm going to have a different pet peeve I've talked about. I have 2 this
Is this
week.
going to be personal and about your co-hosts?
Can you recall this?
Could be.
The airing of the
what
grievances.
really grinds my
So
gears.
Jeremiah did. He did my voice, so I'll do his voice. Hey y'all. No, okay, that's not my pet peeves. So I'm in Walmart
I believe
yesterday.
your truck just got keyed. I don't know if you heard of it or not, but it just happened out there. I'm not Paula Dean, you asshole.
Vote Libertarian.
Some butter in that.
Oh, somebody's hurt.
Is it a Packer?
They look green.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, it's a Packer.
Is it
Keep
Aaron
rolling.
Rodgers?
Hey,
hold on.
Hey, bud.
Who is it? Is it Aaron Rodgers?
It better not be Aaron
Oh,
Rodgers.
I hope so.
I don't
No,
think so.
he's not.
He's there.
If it's Aaron Rodgers, not
Oh,
my
I'm
fantasy
sad.
team is so sad.
So, okay. So,
already sad.
pet peeves. I was in Walmart this past Saturday.
You're very brave.
Very brave. And I'm in the checkout line. And this is one of my biggest pet peeves.
Saw a man with an assault rifle.
No.
Somebody
Even
opened
worse. So, you know how they have those riding carts for the crippled people?
Canadian. Yep.
Don't ride on one of those if you're 400 pounds and too lazy to walk.
How do you know that they weren't crippled, and because they were crippled, they gained all that weight?
Because I saw them stand up and do the self-scan.
Maybe they have diabetes and they have horrible
Both of them?
tingles.
It was a
in their legs.
mother-daughter, and they're under 50. Okay, if you're 400 pounds and you're over 55, I get it. Use it. But if you're under 50, don't use...
What about
that-
those people that
between
are between
50 and
55?
Where do they fall?
Well, then I'm like...
Chase should never be a legislator.
What does Walmart have a policy? Why are you worried about what people
It
do at
just
Walmart?
pisses me off when I see it. I don't know what Walmart's
What have they done to
policy
hurt
is.
you?
Show me on the
It
scooter.
just... There
Are you
could
just
be an
jealous?
old person who needs it.
Are you just jealous they got to
Yeah.
ride and you didn't?
There could be an old person who needs it, and they're just too lazy to walk. Like, that's why you're 400 pounds. Like, you're too lazy. So, anyways, they're riding past me, and it's a mother and daughter. And one's
they
probably
like-
in their mid to
Are
late
they,
40s.
like dual scooters? Or are they riding on it together?
Right, one's right behind the other. The other one's in her mid 20s, which
One's
pisses
in
me
the
off
basket.
more.
One is in the
bump
basket,
drafting.
the other one's driving.
And all I hear is, if you don't stop talking, I'm going to throat punch you. Yeah, I don't know. It's Walmart.
I'd appreciate it if you didn't use my voice when you talk.
If you don't stop talking, I'm going to throat
You
punch
think
you.
Jeremiah's got a really high voice?
Vote Libertarian.
Do your impression of me.
Hey, Jace.
I think that was
you're way off.
All right, what about me?
I was told I sound like Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Hey, Chase.
Oh, man.
You want to go down to Brookville
I was-
and go camping?
I was told by a lady in Chicago that I had a very distinct Southern accent.
I want some
I've
of
never
that.
heard that in my own voice.
I want some of y'all's Gus's famous chicken.
yeah.
Super
I have family
spicy.
that live in Tennessee, and whenever I'm around them, I'm like, man, that's a Southern accent. You talk like you got a mouthful of
So
gravel.
my other pet peeve is the traffic on 70 is really getting to me because I'm driving and I get a mile from the exit coming home and it's a standstill for 30 minutes. And all I know is I had enough gas to get home, and then I'm slowly watching it go to low fuel to I'm a half mile away, and now I have 20 miles left. And it's pissing me off. Like, I get going slow, but when it's a standstill for 30 minutes, figure your shit out, okay?
you need to start using Waze, dude.
Well, I had it pulled up, and then I got to 70, and I was like, oh, I know the rest of the way. I don't have to use
No,
this
it's
anymore.
not that. It's how long
Yeah.
it's going to take because it will reroute you.
Yeah,
Right now, 234 and 40 may be your friends as you're heading
probably.
east from the city.
And 40 just got redone.
Yeah, it's all beautiful again. Anything else?
Is that all you got?
That's it for your grievances.
I don't have anything else.
Well, who's going to win this
Jeremiah.
game? You had Green Bay and Philly. You were giving Mason
Green
some
Bay,
ad-
Philly. I'm pulling for Philly.
Our boy Mason's got over $140 on this game. At this
Yeah,
point.
I'm pretty biased on this one. I think Aaron Rodgers is a little overrated, even though he's about to score. I'm going to say Philly pulls it out 34-27.
Damn it! We needed him to throw a touchdown pass there, and not a rushing touchdown.
Who are you playing?
Touchdown,
I have Rodgers.
Packers.
I know. But who are you playing this week? Do you know?
Nutter Butter. I don't know.
Ooh, I don't know.
I don't know who it is.
Can't believe I lost a kid.
This is
We'll
going to
look
be
later.
great listening for the people who are listening or Friday night, and they're like, I already know what happened.
And they know what happened.
By the way, not only did Chris's team lose Monday night, he also got smacked in the face by Jeremiah's father-in-law.
I did.
It was
terrible.
bad, man. You might as well just add me on Facebook right now.
I refuse to give in.
All right,
There's
Dakota.
no quit.
My final thoughts are I'm about to go full Greta on all of you guys.
Oh no!
So,
Because listen, this time of the year is my favorite time of the year. I don't like the warm weather. I work outside, and my favorite weather is whenever it's like 65 degrees. I wear overalls every day, overalls and a light shirt, and it's just like the perfect outfit. It's not too hot, and it's got all those extra pockets, and it's great. I love it. And it's almost October. The first day of October is supposed to be 90 degrees in the state of Indiana. We've got a freaking drought. I'm like 90% sure that all of the climate change alarmism is true at this point. It's getting ridiculous.
You just can't enjoy a nice summer day.
I hate it, Jeremiah. You go work outside all summer long, and you're sweating your balls off every day, and then you're like, it's the end of September. It's finally going to start working out, and it doesn't.
Hey man, I closed my pool. Snow's going to fly in like 20 days.
can you do your Judge Janine impression now?
Who's that? Don't know. I'm not that far into the environmentalist movement. I just know who
This is
Greta
great radio.
Who's Judge Janine? I don't know who that
Like a
person-
lady from Fox News.
Oh, no.
You're the only one that watches Fox News at this table, Chase.
I don't even watch Fox News anymore, but I know her. So I'd always say, man, this lady pisses me off.
All right. That was it?
That was it.
Climate change. You were worried somebody was going to steal climate change when we were talking about center pivots.
Yeah.
Zach
Because
Bertram
y'all
says
were-
that it's going to dip into the 40s next week, so shut up.
Like it's going to be like that in the morning.
Yeah, but
October
40s
1st
is too
supposed to be-
cold. I want like 50s,
I want it-
60s,
I want it like
low 70s.
I want it 40s in the morning, and then as it and like the morning time when you're drinking a cup of coffee, you can
So
kinda see
the
your
sun
breath,
rises and you see the bird, a little bit
Yeah.
of frost.
and it gets to be like 62 degrees outside and sunny. Those are my perfect days, and then you can go home. And you can start a
I want
fire.
my favorite thing about the winter is going out to start my car in my underwear. And sometimes I wrap myself up in a blanket. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just like it a little frosty.
Yeah.
But I do that every morning. So
Ever since
if
I was
you're
a
on
kid.
38, you might see me in my
You might get a
underpants.
show.
Ever since I was a kid, I've enjoyed walking outside in the freezing cold in my underwear.
Yeah, I love
still do it. I still do
I
it.
love it.
If it's snowing, I'll go outside
Every morning.
barefoot. Yeah. It's just, there's something about like that. God, it's so freaking cold.
got-
And
I'm
then
going to
you-
make it. I'm going to make
Yeah.
it.
And then you walk back inside and it's hot and like the warming up feeling
Oh,
is
yeah.
great. Yeah.
I've got a button on my remote. I can just remote start the thing, and it's great if it's not parked in the garage.
Yeah,
That-
but
it's
then you
that-
can't go outside in your underwear.
That's that upper middle
And you
class.
can't have a
life.
good excuse to.
I live on a pretty busy road. All right, final thoughts for me. I'm actually going to be attending an event. I'm hoping Chase comes with me. Friday, October 4th, a week from Friday night, Indianapolis, Indiana. Juice in the Morning is hosting it. It's a big podcaster meetup. They're going to have a live show from 8 to 9 p.m. at Joe's Grill in Fishers over on Brooks School Road. Juice in the Morning and a bunch of other local podcasters are going to be there. So meet us, get pictures, autographs. I'll be representing the Boss Hog brand, and they're going to do a live show out there. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to have a good time. We appreciate everybody for following us and listening. Like, subscribe, rate, review, all of those things.
This is Jeremiah Morrell. I'm signing off.
We'll be back next week,
We hope.
Thursday, with City Councilman
Lynn Purdue.
Lynn Purdue will be joining us, and maybe chasing the fourth chair. We don't know. We'll see y'all then.
Thank you for listening to the Boss Hog of Liberty, which is part of the We Are Libertarians Network. I am Chris Spangle, and I am the founder of this network, and I invite you to listen to all of our shows, which you can find at WeAreLibertarians.com or by searching for these in your podcatcher. The flagship show is the We Are Libertarians podcast, where we apply libertarian principles to current events. The Brian Nichols Show is a conversation amongst Republicans, Democrats, Libertarians, Independents, as they talk about what is happening in the news. And we have many other podcasts like The Chris Spangle Show, Upward, The Cost, Raw Audio Politics, Miranda's World, and Tad Talk, which is quite a ride. So check all of these out. Go to WeAreLibertarians.com and you can check out all of our great podcasts. Thanks for listening. Thank you for listening to the We Are Libertarians Network. Get our other shows at WeAreLibertarians.com.